to the weekly update with the mayor and Kyle Johansson. Kyle, it's been was a busy sports week, last week anyway, with some really cool outcomes and some heartbreakers, and then a really heartbreaker with the Bills versus the Bengals game, where we had a serious health issue that took place down there on the field. But that all said, tell us what the weather's going to look like, because right now I think it's like 65 degrees outside or something.
Humidity doesn't
crazy.
help.
Yeah, humidity's terrible. Update us on weather, sports, and all things COVID.
So we got a special weather statement in effect until 3 p.m. due to the creeks and streams are still running from high water from yesterday's rainfall amounts that we've seen between 1 to 3 inches of rainfall from yesterday's rain amounts. Because Richland Avenue flooded again yesterday. That was like the second time. Well, the first time it never flooded this early. Richland usually floods this time of the year. Usually in July we get the most of the rain of the entire year. But yesterday was very rare for this to happen. Even though luckily all the stones are all gone still, which was actually that was a good thing. So you got a special statement in effect until 3 p.m. today. Did all that runoff is still ongoing from yesterday's rain, which we don't need any more of that rain. And tonight we got the rain is gonna be gone tonight. Clear skies, low 36 degrees. Tomorrow we got partly cloudy skies, high 49, low 31. Friday we got cloudy skies, high 38, low 28. Saturday we got mostly cloudy, high 43, low 31. Sunday we got showers, high 46, low 36. Monday we got morning showers, high 43, low 32. Next Tuesday we got cloudy skies, high 48, low 29. And next Wednesday we got partly cloudy skies, high 45, low 25. In sports, the OU football team won against Wyoming in the Arizona Barstool Bowl in Tucson, Arizona, in overtime, 30-27. And then the basketball team won Friday night as well. And then last night, the men's team lost their first MAC conference game in Buffalo last night. And we got women's in Akron tonight in the first home women's MAC game at the Convo at 1 p.m. Saturday. And gosh, it's going to be actually not too cold for that, actually. Compared to what it was like a couple weeks ago, it was like -1 degree, and like a week later, it was almost 100 degrees warmer than a week later. And then basketball's at home on Tuesday the 10th, and also the ballpark bundle for both baseball and softball games go on sale on Tuesday the 10th at 9 in the morning, first time in the year. And the Copperheads will be back in about 5 months already. That's going to be a shockers already. And football, usually tickets go on sale later in February once the schedule will be announced. And overall, speaking of the football team have won 10 games for the first time since 2011, I believe. So it's been 11 years almost. And in COVID, they got a new variant that has started to pop in the United States, but it's called the BX. I don't know what kind of variant, but it's going to be like 40.5% of new cases, but it's actually not surprising it is. This time last year, we're still all in mask and north, but what a big change has made in the last year, in the last 2 to 3 years as well included.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I was just talking to somebody who's been battling influenza A, and so there's RSV that's out there. There's all kinds of stuff. It's kind of like the trifecta of different things, and we all, due to COVID, kind of forgot that, hey, there's other viruses out there that we can be susceptible to or getting. So get your COVID vaccine, get your boosters, get your flu shot, get everything that you need to get as we move forward into 2023. Couple updates from around the city. We have the West Washington Street Sidewalk and Curb Improvement Project. This is being conducted by D.V. Weber. It began back in December, the 26th of, and will continue through spring. So a lot of work's going on in there. There will be parking restrictions on one side of West Washington, the only side that you can park on. So keep that in mind. If you have any concerns or issues that you experience in that corridor, please feel free to reach out to Engineering and Public Works at 593-7636. Christmas tree pickup that is going on. It'll run through the end of this month, through the end of January. If you're interested in having your tree picked up, you need to call Engineering and Public Works, call them at 592-3343 and schedule a time in which to have your tree picked up. They just hauling it out there and dropping it at the curb isn't going to get your tree picked up. You need to make sure you call and schedule. They pick up trees on Tuesdays and Fridays. So if you want to take advantage of this service, it is free. They will pick up the tree and haul it away for you, and I believe we mulch them up or we give them to the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, and they turn them into habitat for other wildlife, which brings me up to the next point I want to mention, and that is that for live cut trees, Ohio Department of Natural Resources creates shelters for Ohio wildlife using them. In Athens County, you can drop off your tree Saturday, January 21st, down at the Athens Hawking Recycling Center, which is out on 5991 Industrial Drive from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. For live cut trees. They must be free of all tinsel, ornaments, lights, things of that nature. But what they will do is they will use it for habitat restoration, which is kind of interesting. So keep that in mind too, that if you want to ensure that your Christmas tree is being used for wildlife restoration, go that route. So all things Arts, Parks, and Rec, there's 3 days left for registering for youth basketball. For the 3rd through 4th grade, there are 10 spots currently open. For the 5th and 6th grade cohort, there's 18 spots still available. And for the 7th, 8th, and 9th, there are 24 spots open. Registration ends January 7th, which is right around the corner, so keep that in mind. Just reach out to Arts, Parks, and Recreation or head down there. You can call them at 592-3325 or just head down to the rec center to register your kids for basketball. Registration is also open for boot camp. So this is boot camp classes. It'll be Wednesdays and Fridays from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. at the community center. Again, you can call the community center at 592-3325, or you can register online for boot camp. Another thing that's going on at the community center in terms of classes is something called Strong Nation. Sign up starts today. These are weight training classes. Strong Nation is a full body workout that incorporates muscle conditioning, cardio, and a number of other things. So take advantage of that if that's your jam. Those classes will be Fridays. There's a free demo January 13th to get you interested in it. And then classes are Fridays going from January 20th through March 24th, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. on a Friday. Membership fee is $50 for that time period. Non-members, it is $65. So you can come down and meet the instructors and all that stuff. Go check out what it's all about if you're interested at the demo. Like I said, the demo is on January 13th. Also, Arts, Parks, and Rec, they're offering a whole sundry of different dance classes. Everything from creative movement, which is for ages 2 through 4. The Hippo Hoppo, which is ages 3 through 5. Little Royals Ballet is ages 4 through 7. And Hip Pop Rock, which is ages 5 through 10. And then finally, Ballet 101, which is offered at the community center for ages 6 through 11. The classes will start January 9th. So again, that's a little more than 2 weeks away. So keep that in mind, or actually a week away. And yeah, you can, again, go to the city's website and check it out at Arts, Parks, and Recreation, or call them, again, as usual, at 592-3325 for any of those different dance classes. Meetings that are coming up. Today, we have the Sustainability Commission that will be meeting. That'll be at 6 p.m. here in council chambers, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. Joint Police Advisory Council is tomorrow. That will be up at 118 Ridges Circle. So this is up at the Ridges. It's the OUPD's turn to host the Joint Police Advisory Council. That is 5 to 6 p.m. We have the Athens City Historic Preservation Commission, which will be meeting Monday, January 9th. That will be down on the first floor. That's 5:30 to 6:30 here in the city building. And as usual, City Council will be meeting on the 9th as well at 7 p.m. here in council chambers. So a bunch of stuff going on in terms of meeting. Oh yeah, thank you, Kyle. Trash collection. Since we observed the 2nd, actually we observed the 3rd as a official holiday here for New Year's. Trash collection, as did AHRC, trash collection is backed up a day for everybody. So if today was your trash day and you put it out, oops, it's pickups tomorrow. And tomorrow's is on Friday, and then Friday's is on Friday. So keep that in mind with the delay in trash. I'm glad you reminded me. And we should probably talk to this as well, even though we'll have another weekly update before MLK weekend. The same thing will happen during Martin Luther King weekend, which is the 16th, to where everything will get delayed, and the city building will be closed in observance of Martin Luther King. And I will be out in Washington, D.C. on the 17th and 18th, so we won't have a press conference unless we move it to Thursday.
We can move it to Thursday. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we could do it Thursday. But I will be out in Washington, D.C. for the National Day of Racial Healing, which is an interesting event that will be taking place in D.C. I'll be representing the City of Athens team that is part of the National League of Cities Race Equity and Leadership Institute. We were selected, as I've mentioned before, as one of 10 cities to participate in the inaugural cohort going through NLC's institute. I have a proclamation, which we'll wrap up today's update with. And I mentioned this at City Council last night, but this is Cervical Health Awareness Month. So the proclamation is as such: whereas the United States Congress designated January as Cervical Health Awareness Month, and whereas it estimates that about 14,100 new cases of invasive cervical cancer will be diagnosed in the United States this year, and about 4,280 women will die from cervical cancer this year. And whereas most often cervical cancer is diagnosed between the ages of 35 and 44, and about 20% of cervical cancer cases are diagnosed after the age of 65. And whereas regular cervical cancer screening tests are effective in detecting the disease early when it can be effectively treated. And whereas cervical cancer vaccines are available that, together with screening tests, provide a formidable and effective means of preventing this disease. And whereas highlighting issues related to cervical cancer, HPV infection, and the importance of early detection and increasing awareness among the community and healthcare providers alike regarding the best use of these prevention tools is a key component in safeguarding women's health and saving lives. Now, therefore, I, Steve Patterson, the mayor of the great city of Athens, Ohio, do hereby proclaim January of 2023 as Cervical Health Awareness Month in Athens, and I encourage all citizens to recognize that cervical cancer is a preventable disease, and urge all citizens to encourage and support the women in their lives in taking charge of their health and availing themselves of cancer prevention resources. All right, Cervical Health Awareness Month. That's all Kyle and I have for today. So again, to all of you, Happy New Year. 2023 is going to be a great year as we proceed on our march away from the COVID-19 pandemic and now living in an endemic. Yeah. And join us again next week for the next installment.